Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here in Foley Square today, Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Now, yesterday, Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyers put in a letter to Judge Kaplan saying they're close to resolving their dispute about the conditions of his release. Of course, why he's released is anybody's guess, given that, for example, even Abraham Eisenberg, another crypto defendant, is detained, and people for much smaller crimes are. But they're going to allow him, apparently, to speak to certain names, but the names are not public. Sounds like a trend because the names of the co-signers have still not been released. Today is the deadline, unseal or appeal. So we're on top of that one. In other, I guess, Web3 news, the jury has the case of Hermes versus Mason Rothschild. Yesterday I covered the closing arguments in which Mason Rothschild's counsel said this is covered by the First Amendment. The jury at day's end put in a question to Judge Rakoff. When did Hermes seek this digital trademark? And his answer was, that's not an evidence, and therefore the answer cannot be provided. So we'll see what the jury does on that one. In other news yesterday, the New Year's Eve machete Allah Akbar hacker, and I mean that literally, Trevor Bickford, a 19-year-old from Maine who became radicalized and came to New York, tried to fly to Jordan, was unable to, and so took a swing with a machete at 3 cops on New Year's Eve. He was brought in. The case has been federalized. He looked kind of, I'm not going to try to act it out, but he looked either sedated or catatonic. But he spoke clearly, and he was detained on consent. In rapid-fire news, Larry Ray, the Sarah Lawrence dorm, devil in the dorm, his co-defendant, Isabel Pollack, the government is asking for 5 years. I want to turn to the United Nations. Yesterday, Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General, gave a speech outlining his priorities for the year. It was full of lies, but there was one in particular that caught my eye. He was talking about the need to fight disinformation. And what I want to tell you is, be aware of this. The UN under him define as disinformation anything that's critical of them. I asked why he hadn't disclosed his link to the China Energy Fund Committee, convicted of bribery right here, and I was thrown physically out and I'm still banned. That's how he fights disinformation.